The goal of this workshop was to introduce you to the Millionaire's Mind concept and give you the tools to implant the success traits that will program your inner mind to achieve anything you want in life. You've created a list of goals, have an operating principle that you want to organize your life around, at least for the next few years. You've experienced the Millionaire's Mind success conditioning system using the neuromapping technology, which you're going to use to implant those success traits and begin working your plan. Having a new Millionaire's Mind allows you to operate with confidence in a winning self-image that makes people want to do business with you and gives you the motivation to do what others won't do to become a success. All the elements are now falling into place. So how do you make all this happen? You get the resources you need. That's what we're going to cover in this module and give you a secret kickstart method for launching your new life. First, assemble all your components and give yourself a working schedule for doing this. Let's say the next 90 days. Over the next 90 days, you'll be doing your daily Millionaire's Mind session, working on writing your plan. Set that as your first goal. To track your progress, you'll be doing the journaling exercises outlined in the Millionaire's Mind workbook. Why is journaling so important to your process? A number of reasons. The first is change is subtle. It's cumulative over time. You may not be able to see or feel the differences in how you think or act on a day-to-day basis, but you will over 90 days. Keeping a journal or a diary of your daily experiences will help you see this progression. It's kind of like exercise. You go to the gym, you work out, and over time you see the difference in your body development. Well, mind development is no different, but the changes are even more subtle. Also, another important point of journaling is it will stimulate insights and problem-solving ideas that will flow into your mind after doing a Millionaire's Mind session. It's designed to stimulate creativity, and you want to capture that. Okay, let's go over the components again and make certain that you have everything together. First, you're going to review the 21 success traits and see the areas that you need to work on. 2, you're going to watch the How to Find Your Mission in Life workshop and put together your own operating principle around which you'll organize your life. You will commit this plan to writing. Also, if you really want to make this happen fast, you can use the Visioneering tool by plugging into the Visioneering workshop. It's on another video called Create Abundance. It will teach you a simple 5-minute Visioneering technique that will unleash your mind power using the law of attraction. I highly recommend it. All of these things together are synergistic and will work together to make all of this happen. And then 3, your main tool, which is the Millionaire's Mind success conditioning system, which you'll start using to program your inner mind to be able to do what you really want to do, which is make all this happen. And 4, keep a journal writing down your thoughts and your feelings immediately following a Millionaire's Mind session. Does all of this sound like a lot to do? Well, it's not really. It just seems like a lot now because you're not in the habit of doing it. We're talking about a half an hour to 45 minutes a day commitment that will transform the rest of your life. Can you do that? Do it before you go to sleep each night or first thing in the morning, or better yet, instead of watching TV every night, do your Millionaire's Mind work instead. You're investing in yourself. Listen, no one can make you do this. You have to want to do it. And I should comment here about something important. Remember in Module 1, we talked about fear and procrastination? Well, there's an insidious side to that, and it's this. The old you may do everything possible to sabotage this transformation process. I want you to realize this right now. I'm sure you've experienced self-sabotaging behavior before. Even though we want to get out of our rut and improve our lives, the old you, the mind scripts that have been programmed into you since you were a child, telling you that you'd never amount to anything, reminding you of failure each time something bad happened, those mind scripts will try and pull you down. Being in a rut and hearing those scripts over and over is what you're used to. Now all of a sudden, you've introduced new mind scripting that wants to change all of that. And it may cause initial emotional upset as the old you rejects this new mind and new thinking. Journaling should help you work through this process because it gives you an anchor of self-realization that your mind is just trying to trick you into giving up. Don't fall for it. Keep moving forward, and eventually you'll replace those old, negative, crusty mind scripts. And when you do, you'll feel great. It's like God suddenly turned on a light switch and everything becomes crystal clear and more in focus. In fact, you may wonder where the real you has been all these years, buried under that muck of negative self-talk and thinking, which only reinforced your failures. And speaking of failure, remember we talked about that as one of the key assessments in Module 1. Well, the goal of a millionaire's mind is to re-script how you see failure, because you will fail your way to success. It's inevitable. We use failure as a way to learn and to adjust our trajectory. Just like Thomas Edison said when he invented the light bulb and was asked by a reporter, "How does it feel to fail at something 10,000 times?" "Sir, I have not failed 10,000 times. Rather, I have successfully discovered 10,000 ways which do not work." Failure is the road to success. Edison understood that it's not the number of times you fail that matters. It's the number of times you succeed. And that depends on how many times you try. While most people fear failure, Thomas Edison and other successful people learned to love failing. They understand that failure is a part of the process to be successful at anything. How your inner mind sees failure and what you do with it is really the secret of most fortunes. Okay, that's an inventory of our mind tools and the process that you're going to follow. Once you start doing it and you stick with it, it all becomes a habit, which you want it to be. And it's not going to feel like work then, especially when your personal reality begins shifting and you witness all the success falling into your lap. What we're going to go over next is what else you need to do and be aware of while you're working on your inner mind and formulating your plan. This next one you might feel is not necessary, but actually it is, and it'll help you a lot to not feel so alone in your journey. And also it'll give you additional resources and help you actualize your plan. And that is to create a mastermind group. I'm sure you've heard of this idea before, but you may have never realized how important and helpful it will be to launch your ideas into reality. What is a mastermind group? These are people that you surround yourself with that will support you on your journey of success. Get rid of the people in your life that are the naysayers or don't believe in what you're doing or your dreams. They just weigh you down. And even though it may be hard to do, they need to go. Doesn't mean you don't still love them, but don't hang around with them or even discuss your plans with them. They're toxic to your higher mission and will only create self-doubt and cause you delays. Don't worry if there's no one left in your social life. There will be, as people are going to show up when you need them. So how do you go about this? Well, start with the people you know. They might be casual friends or people you encounter in your day-to-day life. When you strike up a conversation with them, you can tell if they're interested in you and your ideas. If you think there's a connection, ask them if they'd like to be a part of what you're doing. And if you can call them from time to time to bounce ideas off them. Most people are going to be flattered and say yes, and that's all there is to it. Get together for coffee and tell them what you're doing and that you'd love their advice and feedback. Next, if you can, add some mentors into your group. People with specialized knowledge that can help you on your trajectory. Just pick people to call on that can help you bring your dream into a reality. Also, as I alluded to earlier, people will just show up out of the blue, and it will seem almost like they were delivered to you. This showing up thing, or synchronicity as we call it, will happen with greater and greater frequency the more you're aligned with your true self. And your inner mind programming begins to take effect with the outer reality you're experiencing. Now let's get into resources. Define what you'll need that you don't have now to get you on the path you're going. This new Millionaire's Mind trajectory is going to take on a life of its own very quickly as you start to take positive actions. But to get kickstarted, you may need to add some things to your personal toolkit. For example, Maybe there's skills you need to acquire or capital you need to raise if you plan to start a business. Perhaps you need help at home if you're raising children. Remember in Module 1, we did a personal inventory of where you were at regarding success traits. Well, this is where you'll make another list of the things you need to acquire to get you where you want to go. Let's say you have a really big vision, something beyond what you think you're capable of pulling off on your own. You want to start a high-tech company in the software development or cryptocurrency space. You've never done a startup before and you need capital and intellectual resources. And you have nothing other than a great idea on paper. What do you do with that? You put together a business plan, which is a detailed blueprint so investors can see how your idea will unfold and how they'll profit from it if they invest in your company. You'll need to learn how to do all of this, how to raise the seed capital, how to roll out your plan once you get your prototype or your proof of concept created. Is it a lot of work? Sure it is. But with a millionaire's mind conditioning into your thinking, all of those things, business plan, the capital, the people, the place, will all come together as long as you believe in your vision and you're willing to work hard for it. It's a process. It all starts with your vision. What's next? How do you make all this happen? Well, here's how. 1, decide who you are and what you want. To thy own self be true. Never was there a more profound way of defining yourself. Then write it on paper so it's memorialized. Writing is powerful and you need to do it. Don't just think it's locked in your memory. Sit, think, and write. 2, know your limitations and strengths. Remember your personal inventory. Know what gaps you need to fill and what skills you need to fill in. 3, make your goals. Again, commit them to writing. Adjust as you work through it. 4, commit to doing your inner mind work. Remember, the world will see you as you see yourself. Doing the Millionaire's Mind session work will change how you think. It's subtle but cumulative over time, so do it, at least for the next 90 days, and see how differently you'll see things. 5, get the resources you need to make it happen. And with your new Millionaire's Mind, this is going to be much easier to do because you've re-scripted a new mind with a winning image that you're now projecting out to all who you come in contact with. When you feel on top of the world, you'll operate at the top of your game, and this is your edge. It precipitates success, and as you know, success breeds success. The whole process is self-fulfilling. Well, that's really it. That's how to condition your mind to be a success at whatever undertaking you choose. Now, there's a lot here to digest, and if you're serious about success, there are a lot of details for you to fill in. I encourage you to watch this workshop again. Stop and start it. Make sure you're clear about the process. There's nothing here revolutionary other than the Millionaire's Mind neuromapping process, which is revolutionary. But other than that, it's just you taking things through the paces. And as it sinks in, the process in you will evolve. You'll see and think differently about all of this 90 days from now, I promise. But you have to do it. Just watching this once for entertainment purposes and looking for the next entertainment, it's not going to get you where you want to go or provide any lasting benefit. This is not a motivational seminar. This is a practical, step-by-step success conditioning system that will give you lifelong, lasting results if you choose to do it.